one of the big focuses coming out of this is that they intend to build the world's most customer-centric company. And there's a really good quote that Bezos has from this, which is, "I constantly remind our employees to be afraid, to wake up every morning terrified, not of our competition, but of our customers. Our customers have made our business what it is. They are the ones with whom we have a relationship, and they are the ones to whom we owe a great obligation."
Yeah, so it's super interesting, this kind of idea of customer first. But in a way that's just so obsessive, is probably not too far to go, I think, is that he made it part of their culture to always put the customer first and make it a customer-centric company. And he pushed it to the extreme where he'll, drop prices before anyone else, even if customers don't ask for them. He now has a system that goes around and says, it automatically picks up if you've received bad service from Amazon and refunds you. It's like a computer program, I think. And he's done all sorts of other decisions that are based around that idea of just making sure that it's absolutely the best possible value for the customer at all times.
Well, I think the classic story of that, mate, is bringing up the story of Apple in the 90s when, Jobs was booted out, and then the more corporate orientated CEO steps in, and they go, "Well, this is our really profitable product here. Let's just keep milking that and keep paying, bringing the revenue in based around that." And then basically eliminate all the real innovation and the real core value of what the company was about. And what you wouldn't see a company in that situation do is on their own just continually lower prices. They would want to take in the extra operating profit from all that into the either into the pockets of the shareholders or maybe back into the company. Whereas for these, for Amazon, it was we're always centered around cutting those costs as much as we possibly can. Now, I think it's a great competitive move that they're able to make to be able to do that because they've got the scale and the means to be able to do that.
Well, do you want to explain a bit more about that? Because I think that this is a good thing to do, but I don't think he does it for altruism. It's part of their strategy. And knowing the mechanics of this strategy and the way that it's sort of like like a snowball running downhill if they get it right, it means that as long as he just remembers to focus on being customer-centric, almost everything else kind of takes care of itself in a way. Like it's not like they're constantly cutting costs so that they haven't got enough money to pay their own bills. It's all very calculated. So in some businesses, it doesn't make sense to put the customer first. Kind of depends. Yeah. And some businesses, it does make sense to keep all that profit. Kind of depends what you want to do. And so like for Amazon, I think quite early on, he realized that the internet was a winner-take-all kind of situation, and that whoever could get biggest would command great advantage. And so the way he made sure he did that was provide great value for customers. Now, you can provide value for customers in many different ways. It's not necessarily being cheap either. But he realized that as he got bigger, he would get greater and greater economies of scale, and he didn't have to keep very much inventory, because not like a normal bookshop where you have to have every title on the shelf. The way he's set up is that he could keep very low inventories, have no cost to actually run the store, and that all the value he created as it got bigger and bigger, he could pass it back to his customers, which would bring more customers in, which would give him an even better market position. And so he really pulled those levers, and it's like it's a flywheel. It just keeps spinning faster and faster and faster as it goes around.
Yeah, it really, I don't like to use this word too much, but it really synergizes, mate, with the
wash your mouth out.
Yeah. The old throwaway. We're creating synergies. So operational excellence and them being absolutely data and systems driven in all that they do. And so those two things go hand in hand. And as one gets better, they're able to improve on the other. So it's like a rising beast in that sense. So, and as you mentioned, the economies of scale, as it gets bigger, they're able to invest more into continuing to do that. So once they've got a lead and they've developed the moat, they aren't there to look to milk the moat. They're there to continue to build the moat, which is why Amazon is where it's at today, and it's it's an unstoppable force, or at least for some time.